Hi, everybody. It's Brian Alston, and I am the self-worth coach. Welcome back to day 3 of my video series in Journey to Brian's Best Life. And I want to thank you for continuing to follow me along here. It's a little unnerving to do this on such a regular basis. I have started and stopped before, and I am making an effort to really do this and do this for me. As well as for you. I think that was a piece that had been missing from me in the past is the accountability to myself. So with that in mind, I wanted to start today off by really looking at the beginning of our journey. Okay, so today is day 3. I've made some promises to you. The first was getting my hair cut and getting into a new headspace, no pun intended. The second was that for my health, physical health, I wanted to make sure that I was recording my stats for tracking. I want to be clear, I'm not doing it to obsess over it. I do not plan to get on the scale every single day. I will be taking my blood pressure regularly because that's something that I was asked by my doctor to do, and I plan to do that and keep track of it. But I did promise to do this every Wednesday. The reason I want to do it on Wednesdays is it's actually a little mental trick. I found when I would often weigh myself on a Friday or keep track of it, I'd fall into that period of belt loosening, okay, this week's done, now I can eat what I want. Or, the weekends would kind of fall apart. I found by doing it on a Wednesday, the weekends kind of stayed the same as the other days, and I didn't trip as much. And that's what I'm doing here. Same thing about doing it on a Monday. It was weird because I'd let myself go on Fridays and then the weekends I'd be stressing about it. Wednesdays work best for me. That's the bottom line. Do it any way you want. That's what works for me. So that being said, I was able to get on the scale last night. Now I will say I don't know if the scale is actually working correctly because with the water damage, it was underwater, and I'm probably going to have to get a new one. But according to the scale, it said 555. So it is a number I accept. I'm not happy with it, but it is just a number right now. It is about getting healthy. Where does that put me in the grand scheme of things? Well, I was actually looking at the calendar from last year. I still had it up on the refrigerator. Pandemic days all kind of blurred together. And I found that I am about 15 pounds more than where I was at the same time last year. I was probably in the 530s. I would say I'd lost about 50 pounds at that point from November to middle of March. Now, I'm not 100% sure because I actually, for some reason, had skipped that Wednesday a year ago in writing it down on the calendar. Where I struggled after that was simply falling into the isolation and the anxiety and the depression. And once that started to grab hold of me, overpowering my tools and my ability to cope and my medications that I were on that are supposed to help, it sucked me down, and the weight loss stopped. And within another month, I found myself starting to slowly put back on weight because I wasn't doing anything. I was in depression. I was waiting for the other shoe to drop. And as much as I had started the support group and was doing things to help other people, I wasn't doing enough for myself. I want to also talk briefly about being an empath. Now, I know people who have watched like Star Trek and stuff like that. They know empath abilities to mean basically sensing reading the emotions of others opposed to being telepathic, where you can read the thoughts of people. Um, yeah, it's a broad definition there. What I find, to me, being an empath actually means, um, and I didn't know it for a long time, most of my life, that I was an empath. But what it really means to me is that I'm good at reading people. Okay, I can sense their vibes. I can read their energy. I can, and we're not talking like new age energy. I'm talking the energy of a person, how they approach a situation energetically. I can read that. I can tell you pretty darn sure, from my initial reads of people, and I have yet to be proven wrong on it. Not bragging, just saying that I'm very good at reading people, and I'm very good at reading their energies. So it helps me tremendously as a coach, because it helps me to understand where a person is. Being a coach is there's a lot of effective communication in there, a lot of effective listening, but there's also some intuitive listening. Um, and being an empath helps me to hear not only what they're saying, but also what people aren't saying. And sometimes that's a lot louder. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. And one of the things with being an empath that can happen is I have to put up my own mental and emotional shields sometimes. And I've talked to a lot of other empaths, and they talk about it the same way. If you're not emotionally and mentally prepared to deal with a situation, or to deal with people, or however you show up, you can find yourself in a tailspin very easily. Um, a perfect example of this was at the beginning of the pandemic. It was probably April or May. No, I'd say probably closer to the beginning of April, end of March. So I had been very good with what I was doing on my healthy mindset, getting healthy. I had been walking, I had been eating right. And fortunately, a lot of what I was eating was not what people were buying in the stores. So I lucked out. I wasn't buying the pizzas and the French fries and the ice creams. And when everybody went into panic mode and started buying up essentials, toilet paper and hand sanitizer and stuff like that, it was akin to knowing that there's a snowstorm pending in New Jersey. Everybody runs to the store and buys their milk, their eggs, their bread, their milk, the eggs, so they can make French toast, I guess. It was a lot like that. Everybody ran to the store, and the stuff that they were buying were the quick, easy things. As I said, the breads, the starches, the quick, fast, easy, prepared foods. I wasn't doing that. I was using a lot of vegetables. I was using a lot of lean meat. So for the most part, things that I was doing for myself, cooking pulled pork, um, cooking, chicken, and making different dishes with ground beef and stuff like that. I was fortunate. Some of those ran out, but the point being is I didn't need to go to the store, not until we got about a month into things. And the first time I went to the store, it was actually to fill up my prescription medicines for my blood pressure and all. And I remember working my way around the store, and I got into the back corner of the shop, right back in the dairy section. And I lost it. I don't think there's a better way to describe it. What ended up happening to me was I could not catch my breath. I began sweating profusely. Now, mind you, I'm wearing a mask here, so now I'm not being able to get enough air in. I feel like my legs are going to buckle, and I definitely felt sweaty and feverish. And, my first thought immediately was, oh my God, could this be COVID? Well, of course it wasn't COVID, and I had to stop, that kind of mental reaction and remind myself, no, it doesn't happen like that. But something was wrong with me. I didn't know what it was, and it took everything I had. And unfortunately, just on a side note here, boy, I wish supermarkets had more benches. Being a big heavyset guy, yeah, it would be nice to have a couple of different places just to pause if I needed to. Sometimes you run into a friend, you want to say hi. It wouldn't be nice to sit. Wouldn't suck to sit down. At any rate, there happened to be a bench up by a pharmacy, and I knew that, so I headed that way, and I got myself to that bench, and I just sat there, glasses fogging up, sweating profusely, could not catch my breath, doing everything in my power to just slow my heart rate, slow my breathing down. And as I was doing that, I was watching the people. Now, for a pandemic, the stores were swamped. They were absolutely packed, as you'll remember. And sitting down gave me the opportunity to actually see what was going on around me. And first off, I will say, from now until the cows come home, the customer service level at ShopRite, Wegmans, the other stores around during the beginning of this pandemic and even beyond has been top notch. They went out of their way to help people. They took a lot of grief. They took a lot of anger and frustration and fear from people, but they were top notch in doing everything possible to help people through the crisis, especially at that stage. So I want to make sure that that's known. And I'm not just talking the managers, I'm talking the pharmacy techs, I'm talking the people stocking the shelves, I'm talking the people on the deli, the check cashiers, everybody, okay? They were top notch. What I noticed was that the people, the customers, the everyday you and I's, we're all wearing masks and we're all looking exactly the same way with this 1,000-yard stare of panic and fear and hopelessness. And as I sat there watching all these people from different places in the world, from different homes and families and groups looking exactly the same, it dawned on me, I was having a panic attack. I walked through the doors of the ShopRite thinking nothing more than I'm going to grab some stuff, get my prescriptions, check out, and get out as quick as I can. There was nothing in the world to prepare me for the tidal wave of emotional energy that I got hit with walking through those doors. And the problem with that is, it will knock you, it'll take you down before you realize it. And that's exactly what happened to me. I was able to sit there for about 10 minutes, regain my composure. Once I realized what was going on, that I was having a panic attack and why, the symptoms went away almost immediately. It's like getting the answer to that question, that you've been searching for. Once you get that answer, it's like everything just gets easier. That's what happened to me. As soon as I realized it, I could breathe again. I felt my strength returning. I stopped sweating. And I just sat there just recovering from it. But as an empath, it knocked the hell out of me. Haven't had that experience since because I've been prepared for it in the stores, whether or not it's there. I've mentally and emotionally steeled myself for that. I've put up my defensive walls. When you're putting up your defensive walls, it's great, but it is a little bit of a conscious effort to do. So that first day, never saw it coming. I'm thankful I did. I'm grateful for it because it led me to start the support group that I did because of this. I realized how bad people were hurting. And for that reason, I wanted to make sure I mentioned this to you. So as I was originally saying, one of the reasons that I brought up being an empath is because you have to set yourself up for success. And as an empath, I can read people very well, and it can easily knock me off my game if I'm not prepared for it. So to that end, I thought something that I would be really cool to do for you is share what I do in the mornings to get me ready for the day, allow me to set my mind right, open myself up to the possibilities, and really give myself that best foot forward for the day. And what I'm going to do is teach you a breathing exercise, actually. It is a meditation exercise. It's not painful, I promise. For those of you who are thinking, oh God, meditation. No, I promise you, this is something that you can do very quickly, very easily. In fact, I know a lot of people out there would say, oh, I don't have any time in the morning. You're wrong. This is 5 minutes. What I'm going to ask you to do is 5 minutes long. Okay. So let's talk about it. Thoughts lead to feelings, which in turn lead to actions. Okay. We need to clear our mind of the thoughts that are going to lead to distracting feelings, which cause us to react the wrong way. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to get rid of all the thoughts in our mind for 5 minutes. Okay. And it's very simple. What you're going to do, and I ask you to, you can try this now. In fact, I'd like you to try it now as I walk you through it. And then I hope you'll give this a try tomorrow. Set the timer on your phone for 5 minutes, 30 seconds if you want. If that's all the time you have to give yourself. As you go, you'll find yourself wanting to actually give yourself more time. I will, depending on the day, catch my 5 minutes, but I found what's a lot more comfortable for me is actually about 10 to 15 minutes in the mornings or at night. And it really, really helps me to be in a better mindset, to be open to a lot of the positivity and opportunities that are going on around me. So I'm very grateful for it. So here's what I want you to do. If you're sitting in a chair, great. You can be lying down. I find sitting works the best. Basically, you're just going to sit back, put your arms down naturally where they fall, wherever you want them to be. Put your feet solidly on the ground, and you're just going to relax yourself. You're going to close your eyes, and you're going to breathe. See, it's not rocket scientist. But what I want you to do is try and breathe on a 4 count. In other words, 4 seconds in, pause, 4 seconds out. Now, there's no requirement for holding your breath in. There's no requirement for how long you have to wait to take the next breath. I find that I like to breathe in through my nose, out through my mouth. It allows me to control and focus on what I'm doing. Now, the key to it is this. For the next 5 minutes, while your eyes are closed and you're breathing, I want your thought to be on your breathing. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. You can count while you're breathing. You can do any way you want, obviously in your head, just count along with it in your head. Do whatever you have to do, but I want your focus to be on your breathing and only your breathing. There is nothing outside of this circle right now, okay? Every single time you find your mind drifting to a different thought, and it will do it. It'll do it all the time. Stop. Bring yourself back to the moment. Focus on your breathing again. Every single time it does that. This is how we declutter our minds. this is how we're going to focus on our breathing and get to that starting point fresh each morning. Okay, so I want you to begin. Closed eyes. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. And as you do this, every time your mind starts to wander for a second about whatever in your life is going on or things you forgot to do, bring yourself right back to the breathing. And if you have to think in your mind, inhale and exhale, or breathe and exhale, and count along with it in your mind, do it. Feel the tension in your shoulders start to dissipate. Allow them to relax, but stay focused on your breathing. And at the end of the 5 minutes, you're going to find yourself opening your eyes and feeling the weight of the world isn't so much. It's going to feel a little bit fresh to you. I will tell you, it's a very heady experience because it almost feels like you're lightheaded at this point. You have been taking in more oxygen and all. You have been breathing, but you've also been focused on one thing to the absence of everything else. And it's allowed your subconscious to kick in and start organizing things for you, putting it in place so it can work better with your conscious mind. Now, we're going to be talking as we go through this journey a lot more about subconscious and conscious mind. But for today, I just want you to be aware of that breathing technique. I want you to try that for me, okay? I'd love to hear in the comments how it went for you, okay? So please, by all means, wherever you're following from, whether it's the Beacon of Hope group or my professional Facebook page, or if you've gone ahead and subscribed to my YouTube channel, or even through Instagram, please let me know how this is going for you. I'm seeing people out there joining it all and liking it, but boy, let me know. And let me know if you have any questions about stuff, because I'll be happy to discuss it. That's what I'm here for, okay? But I want you to try that for me. That breathing is going to be the basis of our positive mindset and our energy going forward, okay? It's going to allow us to have a safe space. I know everybody talks about, oh my God, it's a safe space, but it's a safe space in the terms of when we need to stop, the anxiety is too much, the frustration is there, when we're going to react badly to something or catabolically to it. This gives us a moment to take a pause, okay? And there'll be other breathing exercises that I can show you and I will share with you that will also help you in the moment. But overall, I find that this is a great way to start the day. It doesn't take long. You can do it anywhere. If you prefer to go for a walk in the morning, stop somewhere nice. Find a rock, find a bench, something like that. Do it there. Go outside, get in nature. If you have that ability to do it, great. If all you can manage is just sitting in the kitchen chair while you're, before or after you've eaten breakfast, do it then. If sitting on the edge of your bed and doing it when you first get up is what you need to do, do it. Try not to lay down on your bed and do that. I've done that before. You will find it's very easy to go back to sleep, especially if you've forgotten to hit that that alarm snooze button. yeah, you won't find yourself waking up quick. So be aware of that, and try to avoid putting yourself in a situation where you're just going to fall asleep. Now, I will tell you that this will also help you at night if you do have trouble sleeping. This is one of the tools that I have used, um, and am using again to allow myself to sleep better. And I have been having better night's sleeps. While I can admit to my schedule being whacked out, as far as that goes, and me often burning the midnight oil and the 1 a.m. oil and the 5 a.m. oil, um, on the nights where I actually am calling it a night, going to sleep and doing good for myself. Um, or if I'm struggling to fall asleep, I'll do the breathing exercise. Um, and I can answer any other questions about it, but it's that simple. So we're going to talk more about the idea of thoughts leading to feelings, leading to actions, which in turn lead back to more thoughts, and it's a big circular process. But for today, what we're going to do now is kind of wrap up here. Little housekeeping stuff. I promised to go over this with you before, so I did do my weigh in. It was 555. So that is my starting weight. That's what we'll go with for now. If I find out the scale's wrong, so be it. It's a number. We'll deal with it. We'll move on. I did take my blood pressure. It's 144/98 for anybody interested in following along at home. And my pulse rate was 98. So all that is based on yesterday, last night. I will try to be taking these in the mornings on Wednesday. That's when I find the best time for me to do it is. But there you go. I promised to you that I would keep that promise and get those numbers in as well. So that being said, the last thing I want to mention to you is please, 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 I created a link tree with all the links to my different apps, Facebook, the support group, Instagram, the YouTube channel. Please like, share, subscribe to it all. Also on the YouTube channel, I put some work in. I'm still working on it. But I've updated a few things and I got some playlists out there for you. There's the one that has these videos in it, but there's also 2 other playlists out there where I've just put up some get up and go music. And there's one that's kind of a kick button, take names list. Nothing too heavy, and it's mostly just a lot of rock with a good heavy backbeat to it to get you pumped up. I hope you enjoy them. Please let me know. As I said, comment and give me feedback. I want to hear it. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I look forward to seeing you again soon. I'll talk to you tomorrow. My love to all of you. Bye-bye.